Ready, mate, we're going to be starting off with this Hong Kong derby. The best in Hong Kong. The Zerg and the Protoss going to be facing off here to see who makes it through to the next round.
And I'm just envisioning like a poster for that.
Like on the street pole?
Yeah, on the street pole, but it has to be like one of those old school like boxing match posters where it's like, get ready to rumble in the jungle or something like that. But without any more delays, we are going on here onto Lightshade LE, where in the bottom right hand corner map, spotting all the way in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player coming down from Hong Kong, making up one half of that Hong Kong derby. He is currently teamless, not going for a 12 pool. We have GogojOey.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the other player hailing from the land of Hong Kong, but this one, he's purple, he's pink, he's Protoss, he is Bistork.
Just wanted that alliteration in. I get it.
Well, I was gonna say pink, but then my mind was thinking Protoss, so out came purple.
What?
You heard me.
Well, I guess it's because Wait. Yeah, you wanted the alliteration because there are like R's in purple.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
exactly.
R. Oh, gets the pylon block.
Wow. Wow, forcing GogojOey to take his natural in the unnatural location.
He almost
he could have if he wanted to.
He considered it. He clicked on it. He considered it, but then he thought, you know what? I already got the pylon block. I'll be generous.
Exactly. What's important is that he did also go for that. Like, he did also check the main base. He saw that there was a pool first, so that's why we do see the full wall off and the zealot first.
Yeah, not cutting any corners here, does not want to take any unnecessary risk. He knows who he's up against. GogojOey, I would argue that GogojOey out of the Zerg Trinity here in Southeast Asia, GogojOey is the sanest but the most aggressive at the same time. So yeah, Bistork, he's well aware of that, not taking any chances here.
Yeah, I would have to 100% agree with that, like, way to describe GogojOey. Like, he isn't the craziest, but he's the most aggressive. Like, he's just the most in your face. And we've seen that time and time again. To be fair, if there's anyone who's familiar with the way GogojOey plays, it's Bistork.
Without a doubt. And I mean, we've seen in the past at Bistork, he has some builds that he tailor makes to go up against Bistork. I specifically remember one where he tricked GogojOey so well. He made him think that he was going for a Glaive Adept build. Well aware that GogojOey is well practiced in the defense against that, but no, it was a +1 charge build that completely wrecked the roaches.
Oh yeah, it was insane to see. And already we do have Bistork being a little bit annoying with his initial adept, able to take out 2 workers. Meanwhile, GogojOey, he still hasn't gone in with either of his overlords, only just now going in to see what that opener is going to be seeming to be.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be a Void Ray first coming up from Stargate.
Okay, and now I'm like, again, there's a reason why I just love this matchup. Like, what is Bistork gonna do from here? Like, what is his go-to in this matchup after he kills this overlord? Is he gonna fool a Sephiron and throw down a second Stargate? Is he gonna go straight into Glaive Adepts, which you totally can do off of a Stargate opening? There's a lot of different options for Bistork.
Yeah, we did see in the series versus Miomaika, he did in those games commit to the Void Ray a bit more, but he's got a lot of options available for him now. Oh, Zealot forced to come out from the wall, otherwise would risk losing that. We'll risk losing that cybernetic score. I almost said infestation pit for some reason.
Yeah, he almost did lose that tech structure, that cybernetic score, but he did end up keeping it alive. He lost the Zealot, but it's fine. It's just a Zealot. It's just it's okay. And we do see, ooh, here we go. Bistork is going for that Twilight Council behind the Stargate.
Yeah, potentially Glaives once again. We saw how effective they can really be, but yeah, we'll see what he has in store. I feel like Bistork
Oh boy.
He is the type who would prefer to get a little bit more scouting off of his opponent. That's a lot of gateways still.
That's a lot.
So he's going to look to make use of that Twilight Council.
Yeah, definitely. That's a lot of... Oh my god, he's just getting more and more gates. And what's important to note is that you can see minimal gas is being mined. That is the big tell that we have charge lots on the way.
That we do. Getting a couple of adepts here just to, you know, be a little bit annoying, get a little bit of range damage being thrown down here. And what's important to note is that GogojOey is going into roaches. Light, we've seen this happen once before.
Yep, you were literally talking about this, you know, about how previously in a different GPO, Bistork was able to trick his opponent into thinking he was going Labor so really he was going for a big charge lot all in. And Bistork is going to lose this Void Ray.
But you know what? That's beneficial. It makes, it gives the GogojOey a false sense of security as he marches across the map. Again, the most aggressive of the Zerg Trinity here. GogojOey is.
Exactly. You know what this Warp Prism does? It's what the army does.
It does spot the army, and the Queens just a little too slow to deal with that. Forces Bistork back home, but you know what's important, Light? They're going to be fighting in this open area, and that really favors the melee units. In this case, it'd be these Zealots. But here comes the Lings!
Oh, the Lings are coming in. Charge just now finished up, and it looks like the charge let's get on top of almost all the Ravagers. Roaches, only 2 remaining, 2 Ravagers, and without Banelings, it's gonna be so difficult to deal with all these Zealots.
It is going to be very difficult, but I tell you what, Light, there is Corrosive Vial for some kind of AoE, and these Lings, they're getting some really nice surrounds here on top of the Zealots. The Zealots, they are useless behind this wall. Sure, it's a choke point, but I mean, these Lings, they can still attack these gateways. They can still do a lot of damage without fighting. Another beautiful Corrosive Vial. Seems like GogojOey, I mean, he knows how to deal with Zealots now.
Yeah, but the problem is the shield battery does finish up. There's an Immortal behind this, and can GogojOey deal with all these Zealots? That's going to be the big question, because at the moment, he just can't break into the natural.
No, he really cannot. He is hyper-focused right now on top of the Zealots. Does take out a shield battery, which is a start, but I feel like GogojOey could have been, you know, attacking this gateway, attacking this cybernetics core, you know, attacking something.
Yeah,
trying
definitely.
to depower these structures, not quite getting it. There is another pylon.
Oh, and what's important is that Bistork actually doesn't have very many minerals at all. It doesn't matter how many gateways he has, he just can't warp in more Zealots. He just doesn't have the minerals.
And GogojOey streaming the rest of his army across the map. Parade pushing at this point. He is starving GogojOey out so brutally.
Exactly, and it looks like he's going to be able to bust through. There are still 2 sentries, so force field potential is there. A couple more Zealots are being warped in. The link count is being thinned out. The cybernetics core goes down, but you know what? It didn't even matter. He didn't want to warp in Stalkers or Adepts.
And I gotta tell you something, like, charge is pretty good, but roaches, you're still able to kite against this.
They definitely are, but you know what? The 2 Immortals from the beginning of the game, they are still alive. These 2 Immortals, they've been here since the beginning of time, and with that, Bistork is just barely able to defend.
Just barely. I feel like GogojOey, I mean, he could have tried to, you know, continue pushing there, but I guess not really liking his chances against the Warp Prism Micro, or the potential Warp Prism Micro. He dealt the damage he wanted to get done, you know, takes out the Cyber Core, takes out the gateways, and I was just content with the fact that Bistork is still on 2 bases. Gonna go back home, regroup real quick, and go across the map for round 2.
Yeah, exactly. And what is there to defend here? There's an Immortal, like there are no Zealots. They need to be warped in to defend as well. All the Roaches are coming in. Meanwhile, those 2 Immortals are still across the map. They need to be recalled.
Yeah, GogojOey really keeping an eye on that Warp Prism because he knows that once that goes back home, he does not favor his chances against Bistork's Micro. And like so, immediately we see once Bistork returns with the Warp Prism, with the Immortals, backs away, does not want to fight in that wall.
Oh, yeah, but
regroup.
Yeah, but you know what? So does GogojOey. He reinforces with so many Lings, and he's looking to dive in once again onto try and break that natural base location. He's been struggling with it, to be fair, but you know what? With all these Roaches and Ravagers, maybe he can make it here in round, what is this, 3? 4 or 5?
Oh, game 1 is round 3, 4. 3 it is.
I meant the wave, the wave that's hitting him right now. And everything gets depowered.
All at once was in fact a Kuro Pylon, and GogojOey's Bistork is trying to micro as best he can, but it's not going to be enough. GG is called. GogojOey going to be taking game number 1.
Oh boy, GG and GogojOey. It did take quite a while to break through the wall of Bistork, but eventually he did. Eventually the biles were good enough, you know, the transfuses, the queens as well. He was able to just barely trade well enough and force all of these warp-ins where Bistork, every single time, he was just barely holding on, just barely, but in the end he ended up crumbling.
I feel like I was just watching a sumo match where GogojOey was just slowly pushing at Bistork, and Bistork was just slowly losing ground until eventually he was off the ring.
He was.
Well, I guess in sumo they like lift them up or something. I don't. Disclaimer. I have never watched it.
I've never watched sumo in my life. I don't.
No, I watched like a cartoon of it.
Like I wouldn't even know where to go to watch sumo. I don't.
In Japan, I imagine.
Oh god. All right.
Unless you're talking about Suimo, of which case it's twitch.tv/Suimo TV. Or Sumo. Sumo? Suimo?
Suimo?
Because it's SIU. Siu? Sumo? Wait.
I thought it was Suimo, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's SIU, but I was always pronouncing it Suimo.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, I think we've been pronouncing it wrong. I think we have been pronouncing it wrong. Yeah.
Sorry, Suimo. I mean, Suimo. Suimo? No, we've been pronouncing it right. We've just been pronouncing it fast. Because it's Suimo. And Suimo becomes Suimo.
Meanwhile, I did want to give a quick shout out to Lord Loken. Thank you so much for going that extra step and actually contributing to the Matcherino prize pool.
Whoa, are you saying that I don't contribute with my code? No, but I get what you mean. Thank you very much, Lord Loken, for the $20 donation here on the Matcherino. I'm sure the players absolutely 100% gonna appreciate it. As a reminder, this goes directly to the winner as well as the runner-up of today's Grand Platypus Open.
Yeah, thank you.
We still have like about 4 more codes left, so yeah, if you thought, yo, Lord Loken, that's real cool, but I want to contribute as well. Exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. Put in the coupon code GPO49. You'll add $1 to the prize pool, no cost of your own.
I was just waiting for you to finish, but you went all the way into the side of the game, so I'm like, all right, mate, go for it. Just.
And speaking of contribute, here we have on Def Aura LE, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner map, all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the Pink Protoss player. He is the one who contributes to the Hong Kong scene of StarCraft 2 to the Southeast Asia APAC scene of StarCraft 2 with his ladder points and whatnot. He is going to be representing himself, and I'm assuming Ball Pain, but I don't really know what's going on with that. Ball Pain, bit of a meme clan. We have Bistork.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the other player hailing from Hong Kong as well, the Zerg. He's blue. He is GogojOey.
Kuro saying that I stole her joke in chat, but you're gonna have to be more specific than that, Kuro. I steal a lot of your jokes.
What? You said a joke?
I apparently.
How did you say? The hell did you say 2 minutes ago?
This is where I'm like, they're not jokes to me.
Was it the sumo thing?
I was actually saying something that I thought meant that was serious.
You're like, the sumo thing wasn't a joke. I literally, in my mind, they're sumo wrestlers. Yeah.
I thought I was making a point.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we are getting into game number 2, and GogojOey, he did start off with a pool first, so he does already have a couple of lings out on the map, which is why we also see Bistork chronoing out that first zealot. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that GogojOey decided to go for a pool first opening, especially because as a Protoss player, you have to invest a little bit less to get this wall up and running.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's a bit more of a defensive pool first coming out from GogojOey. I mean, we do know that he likes to be on the offense wherever he can, but, you know, he's not a stubborn player, to put it that way. You know, he's not a player who will just say, I go aggressive, that's all I do. My name GogojOey, I must attack. You know, he considers a lot of the other factors as well.
Yeah, he's the kind of player who would consider that Y factor, if you will, unlike a couple of others. Which is why, you know, fun fact, they're actually really good friends with Patience.
Yeah. They practice against each other a lot. That's why they tend to... I'm trying to think of something similar in their playstyles.
They spread creep.
They spread creep.
There you go. And we'll see what Bistork does from...
That's just never gonna let me live that down, by the way.
Nope, it's not happening. Oh god.
But you just need more creep spread.
Forehead. It was on this map as well, by the way. It was it was on Death Aura.
But I mean, you can see what I mean now that we're on that we have a Zerg player on Death Aura. You know, you can see what I mean.
Yeah.
Their bases, they're nice and snugly fit, but you do need to have that creep connection.
You do. Yeah. Well, what do you know?
Well, thank you, GogojOey, for visualizing my point.
Oh god. Meanwhile, we do have I was gonna say a bit of a similar opening, but this time we have a lot more gas being taken by Bistork. So even though he is going for a Twilight Council after that Stargate, looks like he's gonna be investing in something a little bit more gas heavy here.
Yeah, and you have to wonder what all that gas is gonna be used for. Glaives gonna be thrown down here. And yeah, you do need gas for Glaive Adepts, but you don't need that much gas. So I'm just putting it out here, Light. I think we're gonna see a Dark Trade follow-up.
I mean, you know what? It's possible. It's possible, right? There are like commonly varying amounts of follow-ups from a Twilight Council, right? You could see a Dark Shrine. You could go into a Robotics Bay, into like Disruptors, right?
Actually, he canceled one of his gases, so he's committed to he's committed to this now.
Oh my god, and this is gonna hit hard as well. 6 gates on top of the 2 that are already done. We're gonna have some 8-gate adepts.
And I tell you what, like GogojOey, this time he went for the Ling Bane. So
he did.
Bistork, he is just so good at catching out GogojOey like this. He gets into his head. That's what happens when they play that often. But all things considered, the mind game or the mind trick didn't work in game number 1. Makes me doubt whether or not it'll work here in game number 2.
Yeah, especially because we have seen someone like Miyamika, you know, attempt and sometimes succeed to hold against Glaive Adepts with Ling Bane. It can be difficult to do, but as long as the Baneling connections are solid, then you can do so. Meanwhile, never mind, the Banelings are on the other side of the map, where they're not going to be at home at all to defend.
Well, they do say a good defense.
He cancels.
Good offense. Oh, he cancels and goes home. He cancels, goes home. Once he sees that, once he sees those shades on top of the creep, one of these warriors being taken out by the Queens here, and actually not wasting any of his Banelings, takes out a decent chunk of these Adepts. That is the power of a good surround here.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the biggest difference between GogojOey and Miyamika is that GogojOey does have +1 melee as well on these Lings, so any kind of surround, the Adepts just evaporate against these Lings, and GogojOey is feeling confident enough to just push across the map.
Yeah, what if he'll split his army here?
I mean, what's scary is that there's no shield battery here behind the Zealot, so if he wants, he could just power through the Zealot.
Yeah, he could just send some Banelings there, take it out, and then keep on going. Meanwhile, we do see the Adepts take out a lot of drones here. For GogojOey, it is now or never. He's getting +2 melee?
Oh my god. We'll see if he even lives long enough for +2 to come into play, because you know what, these Adepts are dealing a lot of damage. 14 drones have gone down, a couple more shading into the main base as well, and it looks like this should eventually get cleaned up, but after losing quite a lot of workers.
Yeah, trying to drone drill the best he can. Meanwhile, it looks like Bistork on the other side of the map did hold.
Yeah, especially since GogojOey actually turned around. He turned around with his links to come back home as he realized that, oh my god, like these Glaive Adepts, there's something serious. There's something to be taken seriously. And we do see that there's no mining whatsoever here at the third base. The Adepts are looking to shade into the natural.
An entire mineral line falling to the Glaive Adepts. Roachhorn looking to be in a lot of trouble. Actually survives. Not a lot of queens here, not that much anti-air. Honestly, I feel like GogojOey's best case scenario right now is to try to get a target down on that Warp Prism. But all of these Adepts, they're starting to target the queens. Very quick transfuse being thrown down, but he's starting to run out of energy. Bistork not targeting the queens anymore. He is targeting one of them, and it will go down. GogojOey running out of anti-air.
Exactly, you know what else? The Roach Warren is going to go down, so no more roaches in production for GogojOey. Only these initial 6 that are going to be coming out from these eggs. And now, he has to be careful with those shades. There are quite a number of banelings.
Right, they're looking to get their connection.
Yeah, exactly, and because of that, the third does go down. GogojOey, he just can't find an engagement here, and oh my god, the force fields!
Helps so much here in the SimCity. +2 is about to finish up though, like, surprisingly. Oh, the Bailings! One good connection, 2 good connections, but not good enough. The rest of the Adepts do manage to shade into the main base. +2 melee has finished up, but now most of the army for Bistork, or GogojOey, I should say, they're in the roaches.
Exactly.
They don't benefit +2 melee. Well, they do, but that's not what you wanna. That's not what you want to be using roaches for.
Exactly, and the Lings are in production, so it looks like GogojOey should clean up, but oh my god, everything here at the new third base has gone down as well. No workers whatsoever mining.
But I think what's important to note here, Light, is that Bistork has not expanded out of this. He is hyper committed to this Adept build, and once GogojOey is able to clean this out, he should be in a decent position. Oh, look at the flank here with the Adepts from 2 angles.
Oh my god, now he shades into the main base as well, and again, there are no more banelings, just Lings and Roaches. No mining whatsoever in the main now, because that's where the Adepts reside, and GogojOey, he's just been struggling so much to clean this up, he just can't. Well, no, when I say that...
That's about done it.
Yeah.
I mean, GogojOey, he'll be able to clean this out, I mean, but Bistork is going to reinforce. That said, the army supply does favor GogojOey quite a bit, but he needs that army to be fighting as one.
Yeah, the problem is that
queens like this.
Yeah, and you were talking about the transition, right? And Bistork, he has started it. We do have the very first Immortal coming out here from Bistork, so eventually he's going to want to transition into that, so then he has a better army to deal with these roaches.
An infinitely better army than just the Lings out here, or just the Adepts, sorry, I should say. Yeah, Adepts are kind of like the Lings of Protoss in a way.
I will say I'm very concerned because you know what, that Immortal, it is rallied across the map, and it's possible that it could just eventually just get surrounded by Lings. Like I think it's a mistake. The rally, he's just okay, he's coming back home.
You think that's where he set the rally for the Warp Prism earlier?
100%, 100%.
They never changed. Yeah, because I mean that Warp Prism, it was alive from the start of the game till now. Now it's starting to get bruised a little, but not taking any hull damage.
Yeah, none whatsoever, and these Adepts are still wreaking havoc here. To be fair, GogojOey, he is droning up at the moment, trying to get back into this game economically. Meanwhile, Bistork, once again, he isn't just working on the Immortal count, he is also taking his third base.
Finally, the transition is in place here for Bistork. Going to be looking in such a good position as the game goes on, especially because GogojOey, now he's starting to drone up. Has correctly identified that, you know, the Adept harass stage is over. Has enough queens to chase it away as well. Yeah, so GogojOey, he's finally kind of establishing himself on his own side of the map. Meanwhile, also going for a big counterattack. Bearing in mind, these are +2 Lings. They are +2 wings, and look at that. Immediately going to be taking out the Nexus. Denying the third base for as long as possible here. GogojOey really trying to get ahead in the economy. Yeah, definitely. Like, that was such a nice move there from GogojOey, especially because, again, I don't know if Bistork really feels confident pushing out on the map, at least not without his Warp Prism, with his main army. So yeah, just delaying that economy even further, allowing GogojOey to get back into this. Just like so. Surprisingly, GogojOey despite that massive assault, he's still standing. I do feel like a less reserved player would have just crumbled to all that pressure, but GogojOey, proving that he's not just good in the offense, he's also decent on the defense.
Yeah, definitely. He was just barely able to hold on, and we'll see where things go from here, because he's at the moment he's kind of regaining his tech structures. You know, we do see the Baneless is being remade as well. I'm surprised we're not seeing anything else like either a Spire or a Hydroden, but to be fair, like his economy was in shambles for the longest time, so that's really where his focus lies.
Indeed it is. Okay, I was thinking he might lose a bit to that.
Yeah, and as all this was happening, the Robotics Bay finished up for Bistork. I was assuming it was going to be for Disruptors, but he has decided to go for some Colossus.
Yeah, either way, I do think that eventually Bistork is probably going to go for Disruptors. I don't think he'll want to prioritize Storm just yet. Not when there's this much Lingbane, no, Roach Ravager out on the map, but does also want to get a bit of a siege unit, you know, something that he can sort of stick in the back and deal with all of these lings being thrown his way.
Yeah, I'm honestly really surprised that we have nothing but lings on the way for GogojOey. Like, he's committing to this like Roach Ravager Lingbane style, which can do well early on. I'm just worried because the further this game goes on, I don't know if the army necessarily scales well.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that Roach Ravager is a supply inefficient army composition, add some Lingbane into that, which is also a very larva heavy composition.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
the best of both worlds, but the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, to be fair, like, we'll see what he's able to do. Again, let's not, you know, forget, because of +2 on these things, like, they can deal a lot of damage, especially if they manage to get a surround on this army. Like, this army is really lacking things like Adepts and Zealots, things that really quickly deal with these melee units like Lings. They really do want to dive on top of things like Immortals, Stalkers, Colossus.
Yeah, but those sentries are definitely going to be gonna have a bit, gonna have something to say about that. GogojOey just continuing to poke around, you know, making sure that Bistork is still on these 3 bases. The Warp Prism is still a lot of trouble. Like, the Warp Prism moves away.
Jesus, yeah, it was a little bit misrallied there, just going straight into the base, and did take quite a bit of damage from that Spore. Something important to note, we were waiting for the next tech structure. There we go. Spire is going to be on the way for GogojOey, and with that Spire, he's going to be able to shut down this War Prism and then potentially harass, depending on whether he decides to go for Mutas or Corruptors.
Yeah, he can really go either way at this point. If he wants to be a little bit more, you know, a little bit more aggressive and harass Bistork, then you can go for the Mutas, or if you would rather be, I don't want to say defensive, but perhaps more well-rounded, you know, well-rounded and gives him a way to transition to the late game, then I feel like Corruptors are the way to go. You can always turn them to Gooey Orcs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, GogojOey definitely has options, right, before him, whether he wants to get ready for that Hive, like, late game army, or whether he wants to go for Mutas and potentially try to end the game with his micro, you know, going in and disrupting the economy and really, you know, catching some units off here and there. And ooh, it looks like he has decided to go the Corruptor route.
There we go. Just getting ready, preparing for the late game. And I gotta tell you, like, once GogojOey deals with that Warp Prism, it shouldn't take too much for him to just march across the map. There we go. Recall on the Warp Prism. And with that, GogojOey, he's just got the world at his fingertips. Trying to sneak in here with the Banelings, but A moves right at the last second. Not dealing too much damage to the economy, kind of wasting those Banelings.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to get into that juicy mineral line, but there was plenty of stack defense here to defend for Bistork. But as you were saying, like, now that the War Prism is no longer an issue, GogojOey, he's about to max out. There's no reason not to just push out, and Bistork is still far behind in terms of supply.
Yeah, and honestly, GogojOey, he would have been maxed out if not for those Banelings.
Yeah, definitely. Now he's just waiting for those Banes to finish up. We have +1 flyer attack on the way as well, and we do see Bistork is being a little bit active out on the map, not quite diving into creep.
Yeah, just opening up his attack paths here. It's a bit of a double-edged sword right now for Bistork, in all honesty. For sure, it allows him to, you know, rally quicker across the map and if he wants to, keep under pressure against GogojOey, but it also gives GogojOey the opportunity to just rally right across the map unhindered.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I like the Haluked Archons, but I'm looking at the Sentry energy right now. Not that much force fields available to him.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm thinking as well. I like it, and to be fair, hallucinated Archons, they do kind of serve the same role as force fields, especially when it comes to Lings that get a wraparound, right? They're going to be kind of wasted on those Halukes, but he has to be a little bit careful. It's going to bite him if he runs out of energy for force fields.
Yeah, I think the key difference between force fields and the hallucinated Archons is that Lings can attack the Archons. It's not reliant entirely on the Biles. Purification Nova kind of whiffing it. He's sort of a little bit too overzealous there. All of the Banelings crashing into the Stalkers, way too bunched up, and that's the entire army taken out. GogojOey just needed one good engagement, and he got the perfect one.
You know what Bistork needed? He needed some force fields. That's what
he needed. Honestly, he needed something to zone out them, zone out those Banelings. GG is called GogojOey, making it to the upper bracket finals. I mean, Archons. Whoop. My mistake there. Archons are kind of the mobile force fields, but yeah, hallucinated Archons are kind of the very, very budget force fields.
It doesn't help that all the Halukes were actually about to run out like in 5 seconds. Well. yeah, they were not long for this world, and as we said, like when those Banelings rolled on in, there was nothing to stop them from just connecting with that main army. Like, where were the force fields? Actually, that was the exact moment that you needed the most. They failed you. They weren't there.
They vanished.
They
when
vanished.
The world needed them most.
God damn it, Aang.